Dude,
Yo,
I figured it out. I know how we can do this.
how we can get GMs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let's think of botting, right? Why do people bot?
To get, to get things done in the game without actually having to play the game.
Okay, but like, why do people with like 80 bots bot?
To make money?
To make money. Why can they live off of botting?
Because they make a lot of money.
Do they make a lot of money, or do they live somewhere extremely cheap to live? Or both?
That's a good question, because I'm guessing that there are people like in the U.S. who bot and make decent money out of it, but it's something that they probably have set up and like don't have to put a lot of effort into, right?
Yes, but okay, hear me out. Blizzard hires the botters to be GMs and pays them slightly more than they make botting.
Yeah, but then if they do that with all of them, then there's no one. Then they're not actually having to stop anyone.
That's even better.
Which I guess does solve the problem.
Yeah, the problem solved regardless.
Yeah.
You find those botters like in China, right? With the hunters of the Chinese pets. And you say, we will outsource GM labor to you. If you stop botting, we'll give you...
I think it's that they don't...
20% more than you making botting.
Yeah, I think it's that...
And you just give us like the last 3 months of your pay statements from botting, and we will add 20% to that.
Yeah. I think it's that Blizzard doesn't want to relent. Right? Because doing stuff like that, I think, just admits like that they can't handle it. They can't take... Yeah.
Botting money isn't capped, though. Why would they accept that? It's 100% better to have a job.
Yeah.
Because you're not spending... Let's say you run 200 accounts, even though it's not capped. Right? You're paying for 200 accounts. That's all money out of pocket. That's like cost of business. If you could just play the game and be a GM and make hourly rate that's more than you were making botting.
Yeah, it's more dependable.
Yeah.
I think
you get new benefits to go with it.
It's so tough too, though, because it's like you would say like that's more stable, but Blizzard has routinely laid off like their GMs and things, right?
Oh, Blizzard just out here laying everyone off.
Yeah, dude. So
I don't think there's actually an answer, and there never will be an answer to botting.
No,
or to GPPs.
Because like, yeah, to what like Bloomhoof is saying, like let's say you do that, right? And they get this like, they contract out with however many of the botters, right? Let's say they get like 75% of them. The 25% still botting, suddenly they can charge way more, and then they can make way more money. And so then they're like, they're just like, yo, exponential growth time. And so you don't actually, they just like bot way, way, way more. So you have like the same amount of botting happening from a smaller group of people who then also upcharge.
Shit, I didn't think about the economics of this.
I think it's I mean, yeah, it's such a tough problem. Right?
Oh yeah, but now you have GMs fighting those people.
Yeah.
Because you've hired on a bunch of GMs.
Yeah, but then it just, the more, because the whole thing is like, the more bots and more like bot run companies or whatever that get like dismantled, that's just like the more incentive the other botters have, because suddenly they get a bigger share of the market. So like the more bots you ban, the more the bots that don't get banned are like succeeding.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird parasite thing where it's like, unless you fully eradicate all of it, it's just gonna keep regrowing.
Let's say today, like a patch comes out today, like randomly, servers go down, servers go back up, gold is no longer in the game. It'd be a broken game, but like, let's just say gold never existed to begin with. People would still be botting for like consumables. They'd still be botting for armor. Like the botting can never stop. I don't think that they would ever actually be a solvable problem. Yeah,
they would farm whatever like currency or trade good.
Yeah, like whatever your character needs that like make it's so weird because buying gold and botting is literally just you're paying extra money to not have to play the game that you're supposed to
Oh, yeah.
enjoy playing.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing with that is that, like, so I've never bought gold. I know people who bought gold throughout Classic.
Oh, I've bought gold. I bought
Yeah.
a lot of gold back in the day.
And, like, everyone that I know who bought gold, they weren't buying, like, tens of thousands of gold to go into GDKPs. They were buying, like, enough gold to pay for their consumables and stuff that they didn't want to spend the time farming.
I was going to say that the only time I ever bought gold was because my guild was trying to be like a pumper guild, and they had so many consumable requirements that it was literally impossible for me to afford to play the game without buying gold.
Yeah, because, like, if you work enough,
I just couldn't do it.
And you're like, okay, I can either, like, work less and make less money, or I can work the same amount and take a small portion of that money and then buy gold, and then I'm not missing out on anything in WoW.
Yep. I mean, I think that was the biggest problem, was that it was like incentivized by the community, because I knew that everyone else on my raid team was buying gold.
Yeah.
And I knew that because at first I didn't want to buy gold on the websites, right? I was like, I don't trust these websites. I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah.
So my guildies would buy gold, and then I would just like PayPal them, and they would give me the gold.
Yeah.
And like that shit goes on all the time. And that was one of the toxic environments of like classic WoW raiding that I absolutely hated.
Yeah.
Because there's the requirement to be in a decent guild was like, okay, you either have a mage and you no life Iron Maul jump runs, or you multi-box, which is what I was doing at first. All through vanilla, I was multi-boxing.
Yeah,
to make enough gold.
You were a big multi-boxer.
Yeah, I loved it. It was actually, I still love it. It's really, really fun. I wish we could still do it, but I was never on a PvP server, so my multi-boxing wasn't like toxic to other people. Like I wasn't killing other faction members with like 70 characters.
Yeah.
I was just doing jump runs, farming Chimerok tenderloins, like doing the things that you normally need a group for to make gold.
Yeah.
But then you think about it, you're like, dude, I'm paying for 5 accounts.
Yep. In what, like, you're basically doing the, yeah, exactly. You're basically doing the same thing. Which, like, Blizzard, I mean, you can argue that Blizzard absolutely took advantage of that when they introduced the WoW token. They're like, okay, people want to buy gold. Why don't we just let them buy gold? And we'll at least make a profit off of it, and it will cut the, like, illegal gold market down a little bit, because the people who are like in chat right now that and you, right, that are too afraid to buy gold, or like maybe they're not too afraid, but they're almost too afraid to buy gold. They're still gonna go and get it, but they're like really not happy about it. Like, if suddenly they can buy gold legally, go for it.
Yeah, and I know why Blizzard did it. Like, the token was literally like, okay, this is a problem that we'll never be able to actually handle as a company. Mm-hmm. So let's just try and profit off of it, and give people like an option that won't get them banned, right? Like,
yeah.
Not like they ban anyone to begin with, but I like instead of trying to fix the problem, never ending, and like being in a cycle for 10 years as a company, they were just like, we'll just try to undercut the competition and like keep it in house.
Which hasn't worked.
It absolutely has not worked. It will never work.
I know. I've seen so many conversations about retail players who are like, oh yeah, buying gold is still way cheaper. It's like still cheaper enough from illegal sources that I still just do it that way. And it's like,
well, it'll always be that way, because otherwise the illegal sources wouldn't be around anymore, right?
Yeah.
It has to be that way. Whatever the WoW token price is like the baseline. Botters go, okay, well, that's our cap. We can't sell for more than that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I hated it, man. Like I hated the gold buying incentivizing that was going, like, for me it was all in like TBC and beyond. It was like, okay, I don't feel like playing this game 30 hours a day. They have banned my money making strategies. I'm not allowed to multi-box anymore. So I don't know how to make money. I don't have a mage. I don't feel like sitting in slave pens all day, AoEing down 200 mobs for, you know, charging people that bought gold.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'll
like
just
why
buy gold.
that's why I had more like multiple characters, and why I had like at least one designated like GDKP character was
Yep.
because that's like how I got enough gold to sustain the things that I needed to be doing.
Yep, and guess what? 90% of that gold you got from GDKPs was purchased gold. Guarantee it, 100%. Like it's just people trading around illicitly obtained gold.
Yeah,
in
this
GDKPs.
is wiki, homie. Yeah, but at least then your hands feel clean, right?
Yeah.
Feel clean.
It's like when you go to the bank and you pull out, you know, $20. There's a chance that that $20 bill was drug money at some point in time. There's probably a good chance that some of the money you touched with your hands in real life was drug money at some point.
Paper money these days, absolutely. Like, who uses paper money anymore?
Dude,